I do.
Yeah, I'll just grab them from you real quick.
Okay. They're all up here.
Okay.
That's 25.
Then we got 1, 5, 14. You said that's 25?
Yeah. Yeah, those are both 25.
Kate, Kate.
two guys from John Brown.
Yeah. The other one, I think he was hurt last year.
Yeah.
And he had played at John Brown for 3 years.
Okay. I didn't remember the other guy, so I didn't. I don't think he played much. That would be the reason why. We'll see. They're supposed to press a lot.
Tonight's game is the visiting Eagles of Texas A&M-Texarkana and your MACU Evangel. Mid-America Christian University welcomes all of tonight's players, officials, and fans. As a member of the NAIA Champions of Heritage Edition, we hope that today's players, officials, and spectators will hold the standards of the NAIA agreements. These values will make today's game a positive, competitive experience. Enjoy the game.
And hello and good evening and welcome inside the Galkey Activities Center here on the campus of Mid-America Christian University. It's time for MACU Evangels basketball here on MACUathletics.com. I'm Alex Friedman. William Gibbons joining me here today. It is the third game of the early season, third game in 4 days for the Evangels, 18th ranked. And the initial NAIA polls, they started off the weekend with a couple of blowout wins, 107-73 against Ecclesia on Friday, then came back less than 24 hours later and able to beat Manhattan Christian 112-67. Tonight they face Texas A&M-Texarkana, a very unique story. It is their first game ever as a program. The university has been around since the early 1970s but has not had much athletics. They are starting both men's and women's basketball programs this year, and they are not going to be your typical just team started from scratch. Some players on this roster the Evangels are familiar with via transfers, also a very good and experienced head coach in Ryan Wall. So Will, you had a chance to take a look at this team over the weekend, and like we said tonight, it's not going to necessarily be a rollover game against a team that's playing its first program. But what did you see this weekend that you liked in the first games for the Evangels?
First game, I definitely like to see how they definitely feed the big man down low. He's a transfer player, Cedric. He's a transfer player, and he scored 20 points first game, shot 11 for 12 from the field, which was very good. And so if they keep feeding him, they can be very successful tonight.
Yeah, Cedric Wright and Ashford Golden, guys who have led the way so far. And the big thing for the Evangels is the first two games, they have had huge first halves and really buried their opponents early. Again, a lot of intrigue here tonight with the unique situation of Texas A&M-Texarkana playing its first ever game. We'll see if the Evangels can go to 3-0 and get 3 wins in 4 games. We'll step aside for the anthem. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the tip. Welcome back here to the Galkey Activities Center. You're watching Evangels basketball on MACUathletics.com.
And your MACU Evangels. At this time, we ask that you please stand for tonight's invocation. Our Father, we thank you so much for this great day, Lord. We thank you so much for these great student athletes and the coaches that teach them and dedicate their time to them. We just give you all the praise tonight, Lord. We pray for a great game. In the great name of Jesus, amen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to remain standing as we honor America and those who protect our freedom with the playing of our national anthem, performed tonight by the MACU Pep Band. number 1, Desmond Kennedy. At guard, a 6'4" sophomore out of Texarkana, Texas, number 5, Connor Allen. At guard, a 5'9" freshman out of Texarkana, Texas, number 13, Kyle Wright. At guard, a 6'2" freshman out of Texarkana, Texas, number 14, Dorian Phillips. And at forward, a 6'7" junior out of Arlington, Texas, number 25, Shea Amade. The head coach of the Eagles in his first season is Ryan Wall.
And now time for the starting lineups for the Eagles of Texas A&M-Texarkana. Again, their first ever game as a program. They will start 4 guards, led by Desmond Kennedy, good player last year for John Brown, the third leading scorer for a really good John Brown team last year, a 6'3" senior from Dallas, joined by Connor Owlett, a 6'4" sophomore from Texarkana, Kyle Wright, a 5'9" freshman from Texarkana, and a 6'2" freshman, Dorian Phillips, out of Texarkana. Out the front, it'll be Shea Amade, a 6'7" junior from Arlington, Texas. The head coach of the Eagles is Ryan Wall after a very successful stint in the NAIA ranks at Our Lady of the Lake. He's assisted by Jim Wall. And for the Evangels, here's their starting lineup tonight. The guards, Tony Dorsey, 6' junior from Shreveport, Louisiana, joined by Kalen Woodson, 6'1" junior from Oklahoma City. The forwards, Ashford Golden, a 6'6" senior from Oklahoma City, Dominic Ford, a 6'5" junior from McKinney, Texas, and Cedric Wright, a 6'7" senior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Josh Gamblin now in his 5th season as the head coach of the Evangels. A couple of national tournament appearances during that time, and Anthony Nero, the head assistant, and now in his 12th season with MACU. So again, MACU, 2 wins over the weekend, dispatching of both Ecclesia and Manhattan Christian. And as mentioned before the break, the first half, the key to both of those games. 57 in the first half on Friday, 65 in the first half on Saturday. Golden and Amade getting ready to tip it off at center court. And again, Alex, we've been joined with former Evangel William Gibbons here on MACUathletics.com as the Evangels trying to go to 3-0 to start off the season. Now we are underway. Golden, good job not to hit it again. Would have been a violation. And the Evangels will open with it, going from left to right of their white jerseys here tonight. 4 to the far left wings. Got it for the Evangels. Finds a cutting right to the basket. 2-hand slam, and he got fouled. Well, that's an explosive way to start the game. Now Cedric Wright cuts in the left side, drives to the hoop, throws it down with 2 hands. The Evangels, their early 2-0 lead. Wright, as you heard Will talk about in the pregame, a tremendous debut on Friday. 26 points, 9 rebounds, 12 of 13 from the floor. He missed the free throw. Texas A&M-Arcana clears, but it was a turnover as Dorian Phillips stepped on the far sideline.
And that play they ran, I remember running that one last year. It was good setup by Wright, running up that. So he was going to set the screen and slip right to the basket because the defender's waiting for the screen to come off and dart the ball.
Woodson, left side. Now it's Wright. Left block, working it on Amade. There's a foul called in the lane. Our first foul, or second foul, I should say, of the game. The first one was picked up by Connor Willett. This one is picked up by Amade, his first and the team's second. Just over 30 seconds in, Evangels the 2-0 lead. Wright thought about the 3, tries to get it to Ford. Ball pinballs around, heading towards the baseline. It's going to be out of bounds off the Eagles. So we'll go back to MACU, but the shot clock will be at 14. And I think the official is conferring with the scores table if they are going to reset the shot clock. It never appeared the Eagles had full possession, and it, at least to me, should still remain at 14 on the clock.
One thing about this Texarkana team, speaking with Coach Gamblin earlier today, that they're a team that will press 40 feet the entire game, so expect them to really get after MACU and test them, getting the ball up the floor. giving them troubles getting their offense set up.
Again, this is a program being built from scratch. You can mold it any way you want. Ryan Wall, 5 really good years at Our Lady of the Lake, another Red River Athletic Conference team, and to be able to get him to take over this program from scratch, a huge get for the Eagles. We mentioned they've got some talented transfers and guys who have been in the Sooner Athletic Conference before. Desmond Kennedy, third leading scorer at John Brown last year. Marquise Waller was a 3-year player at John Brown as well. It looks like we're still having an issue here over at the scores table. Both head coaches have been spoken to. It is a 2-0 game, 19:22 to go here in the first half. And Coach Gamblin still having a chat with one of the officials, and it looks like they're finally getting ready to resume play. Now Dorsey will look to weave through traffic, able to split about 3 defenders on the way up the court. Ford on the baseline, giving it off to Golden. Left elbow pass to Dorsey in the corner, lets it fly and hits. Good ball movement as Golden finds the open shooter in the corner, and a 5-0 Evangels lead.
Great unselfish play by Golden right there.
This is to Corian Wright, one of 2 freshmen in the lineup. Now on the other side of the other one, Wright giving it off to Wallet. Tried to find Kennedy, threw it behind him. Miscommunication between Owlett and Kennedy, and already another turnover by the Eagles. They have yet to get a shot off, but they have turned it over twice. 5-0, the Evangels leading early on, minute 15 in. Dorsey cutting to the near side of the court. Now back to the left side. Man-to-man defense in the half court for the Eagles. Now getting the double team, finding Golden, pump fake, drives in, trying to slip it to Wright, but it gets taken away by the Eagles.
I like to see Golden keep that one and elevate above the rim on that one, getting in the paint, blowing by his defender instead of passing that one up.
Owlett giving off to Phillips, left of the circle, Kennedy in between the circles, 15 on the shot clock, offensive foul away from the ball. That'll be on Wallet. That is his second of the game and the third team foul.
You know, Coach Wall right now is calls a timeout. He's not happy with his team getting 3 turnovers, 3 straight possessions. It's not a good way to start the game.
So it is 18-10 left in the first half. The Evangels with a quick 5-0 lead. You're watching Evangels basketball on MACUathletics.com. By nothing, Evangels ahead early. A little bit less than 2 minutes into this game. Well, the Eagles coming off their first used timeout. No changes in the lineups out of the break. Dorsey's got it. Past half court, driving now into his right near the arc. Bounce pass for Woodson. Now right of the block. Spinning to his right. Goes up. Contested shot. Fouled and one. Already the second time denied. He's had the hoop in the harm.
He's finishing well through contact tonight. Going up strong. That was, I think, Kalen Woodson saw him posting it up, and Wright actually had great patience down there. The guard on the wing started to dig on him and waited that out and able to turn baseline and convert.
Well, some substitutions for the Eagles. Kalen Johnson, number 22 coming in, as well as number 3, Tyreek Matthews, number 21, Anthony McGee. So the Eagles, they have the timeout. Then at the other end, a chance for a 3-point play, and things not going very well. First 2+ minutes in Eagles hoops history. On Wright for the second time tonight, missed the free throw. It is 7-0 Evangels. And Eagles still looking for their first shot of the night. McGee backing off, giving to Kennedy. Now Matthews, right side. Matthews giving it off, baseline right, driving to the hole, up and under, shot that time by Kalen Johnson, no good. Evangels able to clear. It is Woodson streaking to the hoop, a little bit too strong, right there for the offensive rebound and the putback. 6 early points for Cedric Wright.
On that last possession, Kalen Woods is sprinting from the top of the key down to the block to contest the wide open layup they had. And what do you know? MACU gets rewarded on the opposite end.
Matthews has got it right of the circle, pulls up for three over Ford, off the front of the rim, no, and there's Woodson again for the rebound. Golden will push ahead up the far sideline to Ford. 3 minutes into this game, right. Drop step, left side, out to an open Woodson, straight on, no good. There's Golden to crash in, cannot convert. Ball gets tipped around and grabbed by Texarkana. Well, had a good open look and a great offensive rebound. Unfortunately, just couldn't convert. It'll happen sometimes, and now MACU picks up the foul. It'll be Golden with his first on the reach-in. Devon Moore comes in for the first time, replacing Woodson. Amadi back in for Texas A&M-Texarkana, replacing Owlett.
Golden had a big game Saturday against Manhattan Christian, scoring 20 points, only playing 17 minutes, shot 7 for 11 from the field. Pretty good, pretty efficient.
Ashford Golden was UCO's leading scorer last year.
Yeah.
He is an Oklahoma City guy, and there is a bit more of a local flavor on the roster this year, which is kind of cool to see. Nothing against guys like you, Will, coming from Atlanta.
No, it's always good to definitely have some local guys that would get, fill the gym up more with people that, that would know the guys playing around the city, their entire lives. Especially when you have someone talented like Golden. He can really fill up the stands for you.
Now Golden's got it 3 feet from beyond the arc. He missed, and a foul called the rebound on the Evangels. It'll be on Wright. Phillips back in for the Eagles, replacing McGee. I think you're going to see a lot of substitutions for the Eagles, not only with the style they play, but again, it's going to be trial by air for Coach Wall and the Eagles as well here in their first game.
Exactly.
Kennedy, contested three is short, comes right to Golden. Angel still yet to give up a point. Ford, the trailer, steps into a three, but it's off the front of the rim, and the rebound grabbed by Matthews. Matthews sizing up the defense, goes in, barrels in, and it is a charge, that time drawn by Dorsey.
Gotta give some credit to MACU's defense. I mean, we're 5 minutes to this game, still haven't gave up a shot yet. Still haven't gave up a bucket yet, and all the shots Texarkana have taken has been contested at least by one or two guys.
Royal Davis now in for, it is Anthony McGee in for Texas A&M. Dorsey flying, finding Ford, dribbles in, 15-foot jumper, good. The shot selection the first 4.5 minutes by the Evangels has been tremendous.
Yes, efficient shots, great looks, getting the ball in the paint, getting the ball in and out the paint, pushing the ball up the floor in transition. It's great basketball.
An 11-0 run to start the game. Kennedy finding Matthews, drives in left side, hard-arcing shot, cannot convert. And there's another rebound by Golden. One-handed pass to Ford. Good job to corral it. Right of the paint, now swings out and around down to Dorsey in the corner. Pump fake along the baseline to right. Power dribble up. The shot no good, but he's headed back to the free throw line.
I mean, the ball, the way they're moving the ball around the floor, the ball went from middle of the floor over here to Dom Kinney. He dribbles it back out, kicks off to the wing, back to the corner, pump fake dribble. I mean, that's hard to guard. That's hard to guard. That all happened in the first 10 seconds of the possession.
Right, 0 for 2 at the line to start tonight. He's originally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The first pitch is off, first shot is off the back of the rim. Motti and Matthews are out. Wright and Owlett back in. Wright, a transfer from Thomas University in Georgia, an NCAA Division II program. Began his collegiate career at Morehead State. Able to make the second one. It is a 12-0 Evangels lead at the 15-minute mark of the first half. Wright heading off to McGee. Guarded by Dorsey. We got Wright on the far side, down to 13 of the shot clock. Eagles looking for their first points. Ball is knocked around, but it comes back to the Eagles. And now, loose ball nearly taken away by the Evangels, but a foul was called beforehand. It is on Dom Ford, his first, team's third. A new rule instituted last year that the shot clock only goes back to 20 if it is inside 20 when the foul is called. And now Dorsey will pick up a foul and a hold. Now, 2 quick fouls, running the team's total up to 4 here in the first half.
Coach Wall for Texarkana is going to rely a lot on Desmond Kennedy tonight since he played in this conference and played against MACU.
Pretty easy travel that time. Called on Phillips. And we talked about the Eagles are starting 2 freshmen. They've got a total of 4 on the roster. A lot of them local guys from Texarkana. As another turnover. (12-0), the Evangels lead. 14:23 remaining in the first half. Ford takes a dribble, picks it up. Golden back to Ford. Shot from the corner, good. Dominic Ford with his first three-pointer. It is 15-0. Pump fake, now open shot by McGee, and there's the first points in Eagles program history. Comes from a three-pointer by Anthony McGee, junior from Dallas, Eastfield College transfer. 15-3 now the score.
And that was the first open shot MACU actually allowed tonight for Texarkana.
Ford reverses. There is a travel called on Devon Moore before he got the shot off. Yeah. Golden and Ford coming out. Terrence Jones and Demarius Brooks coming in.
One thing about Golden, he hasn't been getting himself involved on the scoring part of the game, but he's been getting his other teammates involved with picking up a couple of assists, helping them get easy buckets in this first half.
Open 3 on the way by Phillips off the side of the rim. Outlet able to corral it and finds a cutting Phillips who lays it in. Now Brooks gets it ahead of the pack, but a little bit too deep. Moore, well contested 3 off the mark, and Kennedy with a rebound. Up ahead to right, transition 3 off the back of the rim. Offensive rebound out to Kennedy. Kennedy has it rim out, and right that time able to clear it for the Evangels. 13 minutes remaining in the first half, 15-5. MACU leading early. Or giving off in the corner to Jones. Jones driving, draws contact. It'll be called an offensive foul.
Offensive foul, number 13, Terrence.
One thing about MACU, as another sub comes in, MACU's very deep. Coach Gamlin has 10 guys ready to go at all times.
Marvin Lowe, junior from Tulsa in the game for the first time for the Evangels. Amati back in for the Eagles. DeCorian Phillips will take a seat.
Speaking with Coach Gamlin earlier, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. Having 10 guys that can all play and that can all get out on the court and contribute to your team. At the same time, playing 10 guys is very difficult because some guys might be hot one night, other guys might be hot the next night. So it's a blessing and a curse talking with him earlier today, but it's a good problem to have.
Kennedy's got it on the far side, a whistle away from the ball, and I believe Moore just picked up another foul. He did. That is his first, team 6th, and will prompt another change. Carlos Slaughter coming in. Baseline right, finding a cutting Anthony McGee who lays it in. That's now a 7-0 run by the Eagles after they got down 15-0. It is now 15-7. Jones getting double teamed, passing to Slaughter, too high, taken away by the Eagles. Kennedy, right side, goes up and got fouled. 2 shots coming up for Kennedy. The foul is on Dorsey, his second, the team's 7th.
It's one thing you got to watch out with a team that press every game. Press the entire game. They will get on runs. They will get on spurts. You just have to learn how to just weather that storm and get back your offense set and get things going.
Desmond Kennedy was the 3rd leading scorer on a really good John Brown team last year, averaged over 10 points per game, and his first free throw is good. Shot 40.2% from the floor, 80% from the line. A John Brown team that finished second in the conference in the regular season, lost a heartbreaker in the tournament final against OCU, and then made it to the national tournament but lost their first game. Would have been the leading returning scorer for the Golden Eagles this year, but decided to become part of this new program instead. He makes both free throws, and now 9 unanswered points by the Eagles to cut the deficit to 6. 15-9 the score. Kalen Woodson is back in for the Evangels. He's got it on the near side. Tried to feed it into traffic. Somehow Brooks came away with it. Jones, right side, up and under, got fouled.
An interesting fact about this Texarkana team, even though this is their first year having a basketball program, preseason they were picked 4th to win the Red River Conference this year. So that's one thing, maybe Coach Wall and his coaching history had something to do with that, and then the players he brought in. But that's interesting that they were picked 4th in Red River to win the conference preseason.
Terrence Jones is from Dallas, a transfer from Connors State, a 6'5" junior. He makes the first free throw and the second. Now that'll end that run of 9 unanswered by the Eagles. 17-9, 12 minutes to go in the first half. It is a good test on both sides. A good test for the Eagles in their first game, and a good test for the Evangels early in non-conference play. Matthews around the back, missed everything. It comes right to Owlett, but Eagles maintain possession with 3 on the shot clock. Anthony McGee hits a contested 3. The Evangels, even though the Eagles scored, here's another turnover. To say the Evangels played great defense that position. McGee lets another one go. The shot is missed. We've got a foul away from the ball. It is on Owlett, who just picked up his 3rd foul.
He's one of their stars. Coach should be looking to get him out pretty quickly, as he does.
Owlett will check out. Amati will come in. It will be a 1-and-1 at the other end for Denarius Brooks. Brooks from Copiah Lincoln Junior College in his home state of Mississippi, 6' junior. And makes the first one, rattles it in. Evangels in the first 2 games of the season played very well overall, but the one thing that probably could have done better, shoot free throws, tad bit better, and struggling a little bit early on tonight. Now, Brooks makes 1 of 2. It's 18-12. Matthews left side, giving it off to McGee. Now right of the circle at his right, driving with his left hand at the free throw line, giving off to McGee. McGee slashing through the paint. Hanks off the back of the rim. Amati able to come away with it, but then throws it away. Brooks passing behind the line to Slaughter. Straddling the line, gets it in the front court with 23 of the shot clock for Woodson. Tight defense by Matthews.
One thing I like to see MACU do is get the ball down in paint like they were doing the right, see if they can get low going.
Slaughter lets it go, missed everything too strong. Loose ball picked up by Amati. Now right near the MACU bench, handing off to Phillips. Now McGee, he'll let it go. He's not shy to shoot, missed it, and the weak side rebound by Woodson. Woodson ahead to Slaughter, right side, steps through to the basket, lays it in.
And he's another local kid. He graduated from Harrah High School. Carlos Slaughter ended up going to Seminole State and coming here to MACU.
Woodson forcing McGee to pass it over. Matthews to the rim, through the lane. He got fouled on the way there. That foul was on Terrence Jones' second, team's 8th. He'll come out. Ashford Golden back in. Bonus time for the Eagles. Tyreek Matthews to the line. Kyle Dow in for the first time for the Eagles, wearing number 24. Matthews able to make the first. Sophomore from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And now Wright back in, replacing Lowe. It is now 20-13 Evangels, who led by as many as 15 in this game. Missed the second, Wright the rebound. 9:49 remaining in the first half. Golden had it tipped away. This is going to be a 10-second violation. Coach Gamblin was crying to call a timeout, but a turnover forced by the Eagles.
One thing I talked with Coach Gamblin earlier today, this is their first time playing a team that presses like this, and saying that they may struggle early, but they'll be able to figure out throughout the game.
And now a whistle away from the ball on Golden. That is his second.
Both teams in the bonus right now with 9 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first half. This may be a long one.
You tend to see more fouls called early in the season for a variety of reasons, one of which is teams are just starting to play again, maybe not as sharp as they will be as the season goes on. The other is usually officials get marching orders from the governing bodies to call games tighter at the beginning of the year.
Exactly.
And now a missed free throw, but Wright could not corral the rebound, had a man on him. Well, the Eagles maintain possession. 20-13 MACU lead. Phillips met Wright and to give it out. Down giving off to Kennedy. Kennedy really has not had many open looks this half. Slices through the lane. They work it around to Johnson. And now a travel committed by Phillips. Second time he's done that in the half.
Texarkana, like they switched their press, but now they're back to a man-to-man press now.
Yeah, Will, I was going to ask you about that because it does seem like they have changed it up a few times here in the first half.
Exactly. At first they were in like a 2-2-1. Now they're back to their man, and maybe they're doing a run and jump. Usually if there's two guards at the front, and once the ball passes one guard, he'll let them get by, and he'll try to run and trap from behind and maybe get a tip or a steal that way just to pressure up the ball handler.
Kalen Woodson got fouled by Dow, his first and the team's ninth. Woodson now at his third year in the program. It's been a steady presence off the bench. He's had to battle a lot of injuries his first couple of years. But able to make the first free throw. Woodson last year appeared in just 13 of the team's 34 games, again, mostly due to injury. But he's able to make both. I'll have a substitution. Slaughter coming out. Terrence Jones back in. 22-13. The Evangels leading with 9:16 to go in the first half. Dow brings it up. Had it knocked away by Ford. 24 on the shot clock. Oh, nearly thrown away, but Dow able to get in the backcourt.
Texarkana doesn't have a true point guard in the game right now. Maybe handling the ball wasn't, but Desmond Kinney, I think they probably should have him on the ball. Dom Ford's going to give 24 some problems.
8 on the shot clock for the Eagles. McGee trying to get something off through the lane. Drew contact, officials conferring if it's offensive or defensive. It is an offensive foul. Kalen Woodson able to step in and draw the charge. I think they were debating if both of Woodson's feet were outside the restricted arc.
Kalen Woodson is that player that every coach loves to have, sacrifices his body for the team. It's also a leader on the floor. This is an extension of Coach Gamblin. Always talking, very vocal. And now they're in the 2-2-1 press. As you see, the guard from behind tries to come up and trap and pressure Kalen Woodson from behind.
All right, wide open, then got banged as the shot went up. And he'll head back to the free throw line. The foul on Johnson. Well, first one, nothing but net for Cedric Wright, who followed up that huge debut with 16 more points and 5 more rebounds on Saturday. Able to make both this time. Evangels are 8 for 13 from the strike. 24-13 the lead. Another ball deflected by Ford.
Dom Ford picking the ball up full court. He's playing a rover position. That's what Coach G calls it, the rover position. Really getting after the ball, making it difficult for them to get into their offense.
Wright picks up the dribble, slings it across to Phillips, driving in, up and under with the right hand, scoops it in. 24-15, MACU's leading, 8:15 to go in the first half. 5 seconds to get across half court. Ford picks up the dribble. Jones, no look pass, probably should have looked as he threw it away.
So one thing about a press, it can speed you up. Unknowingly, it can speed you up.
So, Will, this is tough. It's not only the third game in 4 days to start the year, but a team that is hard to prepare for in many different regards because, A, they're a mystery period.
Exactly.
And the other thing is they press a lot. How difficult is that to have this team as the final one in this 3-game and 4-day stretch?
Very difficult on the players, and their legs. Hopefully, Coach G can get them subbed out and keep them fresh as he possibly can throughout the game since he does have a deep bench. The main thing you just want to keep tough layup there. Main thing you want to keep your guys fresh on the floor.
Phillips able to beat the shot clock. And now a turnover by the Evangels as Jones threw it away. It's the second consecutive possession with a turnover by Jones, and he'll come out for Golden. 24-17, Evangels leading with 7:26 remaining in the first half. That was the 10th turnover by the Evangels, and the Eagles have 11 turnovers. McGee on the left side getting a screen. Now gives it to the man who slipped off in Johnson, but he missed everything, and it comes to Ford. Ford to Golden on the near side, stopping near the Eagles bench. Switches direction off to the left, finds Woodson open for 3, cannot connect. And Wright will be called for the foul going over the back. Wright picking up his second, team's 10th. Both teams here in the double bonus in the first half. Kalen Johnson heading in the line, a junior from Longview, Texas, Richland College transfer. Looking for his first points. Missed his first free throw attempt, able to bury that one. Wright checking out, as is Woodson. Slaughter back in, as well as Devon Moore. He's playing with 2 fouls now. Johnson making both. 24-19, closest the Eagles have been since getting down 15 to start the game.
Now, Texarkana changed their press up to 2-1-1.
There's a foul, an easy call on Kennedy as he cut off Brooks near the sideline. Kennedy's first. 2 shots here for Demarius Brooks.
Demarius Brooks at the line shoots 2.
Coach Wall for Texarkana has every press in the book. He's pulling out this first half.
Well, Will, as you mentioned, impressive that the Eagles get picked 4th in the conference despite being a completely new program. I think you could say very similar thing about the Evangels. Only basically two returning players. Ford, the leading returning scorer. Yet the Evangels picked 3rd in the Sooner Athletic Conference and 18th in the preseason polls. Just kind of speaks to the talent that's coming in here and, of course, the abilities of Coach Gamblin.
Exactly. And when you look at both teams actually being picked on the upper end of their preseason conferences, It speaks to both coaches. So also it's a great game out here with the players, but also it's a coaching duel going on. Who can outsmart each other? Which schemes can teams run on offense, defense? I believe that was definitely late as the refs calls it off. But it's also a great coaching duel right now as you see Coach Gamblin adjusting to the presses and Coach Wall maybe calling a different press. And so it's going to be a great game we have tonight. As you see, Texarkana came back from a large deficit, and now it's a 7-point game with less than 6.5 to go in the first half.
Well, I think that really shows how this game has changed is the Eagles have shot 4 more shots from the floor than the Evangels for the game, which is kind of hard to think given how the first 5 minutes went. Dorsey steps in, finding a cutting Golden, and there's a whistle and a foul on Golden. I'm not sure what he did. Looked like he got held as he was trying to receive the pass. That's Golden's third. .6:03 left. Kyle Dow heading to the line for a couple of shots. He's a freshman from San Antonio. Able to make the first. So this roster composition of the Eagles in their first year as a program, 5 freshmen, 4 junior college transfers, and 4 transfers from 4-year colleges. Their first home game is coming up on Saturday. Dow able to roll in the second. Cuts the deficit to 5, 26-21, 6:03 left. Dow will check out. Kyle Wright back in, or excuse me, that's Decorian Phillips back in. Dorsey cutting through the press, leaves it for Lowe, left side of the basket, able to muscle it in. Marvin Lowe with his first points. 28-21. Wright dribbling back towards between the circles. Giving it off to Johnson. Now Phillips leaving left side for Matthews. Down to 9 on the shot clock. Matthews pulling up and hitting for 3, and a timeout called by the Evangels. So the Eagles are now only down 4, once down 15 in this game. Have cut it to 28-24 with 5:26 to go. The Evangels will take their first time out of the half. This is MACUathletics.com. Only a 4-point lead for the Evangels, 28-24 here in the first half. 5:32 to go. Alex Friedman and William Gibbons with you here at the Gonky Activities Center. Evangels trying to start off the season 3-0. Texas A&M Texarkana trying to usher in their program with a big road win. All knocked away from Dorsey. Off the inbound. Dorsey leaving it for Moore on the near side. Low baseline right. Quickly gives it off, and it is hit out of bounds by Anthony McGee.
One thing that MACU keeps doing that I believe Coach Gamblin, I know Coach Gamblin has told them, you don't want to get the ball to the corner when you're being pressed. That's an easy trap for the defense. So if MACU can keep the balls out the corner, that will help them a lot when they're breaking the press.
And now Carlos Slaughter draws a foul. It is on Kalen Johnson. As you heard Will mention earlier, Carlos Slaughter from Oklahoma City went to Hera High School. missed the first free throw, however. Slaughter on Saturday against Manhattan Christian played 12 minutes, 1 of 3 from the floor, had 3 rebounds. Evangels now 10 of 16 at the free throw line.
I was glad to see MACU able to sign Carlos Hall just to see him play a couple of times. When he was at Seminole State, they play our JV team here, and I saw him live here, and he's just an active player with a high motor, and he's very athletic, get up and down the floor.
Able to make the second, 29-24. McGee giving it off to Kennedy. Back to right, left side, foul away from the ball on the Eagles. It is on Amadi. An illegal screen.
They've been running the same motion offense for the past at least 10 possessions with this high screen roll on the far side of the floor.
Dorsey giving off to Slaughter, who'll get in the front court. Now back to Dorsey. Here comes the double. Quickly passes out of it. Slaughter had it stripped by Kennedy. Kennedy will push up the center of the floor. Step to the left with the right. No good. Ball is hit out of bounds. Last touch by the Eagles. Evangels dodged a bullet there. They still lead 29-24. 4:34 remaining in the first half. Now Moore able to corral it in traffic, but got bailed out with a foul. This one whistled on Kennedy. And Yvonne Moore had a nice game on Saturday, 11 points, did a lot of his damage from beyond the arc. He's also given the free throw line a ton in the first 2 games. 15 free throw attempts in the first 2 games combined, hitting 13 of them.
Yeah, one shot from Friday night in the second half from the NAI logo was pretty deep. It got a lot of people out their seats when he hit it.
Moore able to make both. 31-24. 4:20 and counting in the first half. MACU getting ready to sub in 3 players. Matthews has it for the Eagles near the MACU bench. Guarded by Dorsey. Right, far side, 10 to go on the shot clock. Right with the left hand, through the lane, out to Matthews. That shot's offline. Another foul away from the ball. This one will be on low. Free throws coming up for the Eagles. We'll send Shea Amati to the line. A junior from Arlington, Texas. Twelfth foul on the Evangels. Eagles have committed 15 here in the first half. Wright and Woodson coming in for Dorsey and Slaughter. Amade, after making the first, releases the second. It's no good. Long rebound, though, grabbed by the Eagles. McGee. McGee with Wright on him. Step back 3 and hit it.
That's
Anthony McGee has got 11 points to lead the way. And McGee, junior from Dallas, has cut the lead down to 3. Another timeout called by the Evangels, as it is now a 31-28 game. So after an impressive shot made by McGee, and the Evangels here in the final few minutes of the first half, only leading by 3. This is MACUathletics.com. 31-28. Evangels leading here against Texas A&M-Texarkana in a non-conference tilt. Moore gets the inbound, bringing it up along the near side. Stretch pass ahead for Ford, trying to get it to Lowe. Lowe able to get it. Now reverse layup is good. (33-28). Evangels stretch out the lead a little bit. Well, you got a whistle and a turnover by the Eagles. Maybe stepped out of bounds. Ford hounded near his own basket, giving it off to Moore, and Moore gets fouled behind by Dow. Teams have combined for 29 free throws here in the first half. Moore back to the line, able to make the first. So, Will, those first 5 minutes dominated by the Evangels, but the Eagles have kind of had the upper end the last 10 minutes or so. What are the differences that you've seen?
The Eagles finally start to settle in. It's their first game of the year, first game as a program, and their defense, their pressure on their press started to affect MACU and able to have them, start getting easy buckets in transition. And
well, Ford has had active hands all night. He's able to get the deflection and a steal, leading to MACU possession, but Lowe is going to be called for moving screen.
I always taught as a player, if you work hard on defense, you'll be surprised how the offense comes so easy. You do one thing right on defense, many things in the offense can happen right.
34-28. Evangels leading. 2:40 remaining in the first half. Wright driving right. Giving it off to Dow. Pull up from 12. Cannot connect, and Lowe there for the rebound. Ford into the front court between the circles. Had it knocked away and taken away by the Eagles. Wright somehow got it between Ford's legs, but it went out of bounds.
It's an accidental nutmeg right there by Wright with the pass in between Ford's legs, going out of bounds. I know a few of our soccer players enjoyed that play right there. It's not often you see that in basketball.
Slaughter back in for Lowe. (34-28). Evangels leading. Moore gets it on the near side. 20 seconds to go on the shot clock. Crossover over to the left. Slaughter couldn't handle the pass at first, but he corrals, gets fouled, and count the basket. So it ends up turning out to benefit the Evangels. But what a move that time by Moore to get free.
Right to left crossover. I'm not saying he's anywhere like this because I don't want to disrespect anyone in a basketball game, but that right to left crossover is vintage Allen Iverson. But we're not going to disrespect Allen Iverson.
Slaughter able to convert the three-point play. 37-28 2 minutes ago before the first half. McGee banks it in from the side angle. Boy, if it was not for McGee, Evangels would be leading this game by a lot more, but he has carried the water with 14 points. Moore is going to draw a blocking foul along the sideline. Coach Day thought there might have should have been Coach Wall, thought there might have should have been a push-off. Phillips with his second. Anthony McGee is 5 of 7 overall, 4 of 5 from three-point range with a couple of just incredible makes.
The first 2 threes he made, he was blanketed, and this one came off the side of the backboard. I mean, like you said, without him, they wouldn't be in this game.
Moore able to roll in the second. 39-31, the Evangels lead. Matthews pulling up and hitting from three. We'll cut it down to 5 with 1:23 to go before half. Ford giving it off to Moore, cutting towards the middle. Leaves a bounce pass for Woodson, looking to answer for three, cannot. Slaughter tips it to right end of the game with his feet underneath the basket and lay it in.
If you look right now for MACU, MACU does not have a traditional big on the floor. They have point guards and wings on the floor, but with their size and with Texarkana going small or being a small team in general, MACU can get away with that.
Yeah, Slaughter going to be called for a foul, barreling into McGee. But I guess my retort to that is, well, it's not too often MACU has ever, under Coach Gamblin, had many traditional bigs.
That's very true. Very true.
Well, McGee, again, he is leading all scorers with 14 here in the first half, and he'll stay at 14. It's his first time to the free throw line. Eagles as a team, 6 of 14 from beyond the arc. Now 8 of 12 at the line. They'll make 1 of 2. It is 41-35 with 50 seconds to go. Now the Evangels in the first 2 games, as we mentioned, just blew the doors off their opponents in the first half of those first 2 games. That's not the case today. An offensive foul called against the Evangels. Woodson pushing off. Coach Gamblin not pleased. 33 fouls have been called here in the first half. .36 seconds to go. And a 7-second difference with game clock and shot clock. The Eagles could get it down as little as 3 on this possession. Matthews will try just that. The shot short. Great box out by the Evangels. Woodson leaving for Moore. A quick burst through the defense and off the glass. That's the second time here in the final few minutes of the first half. Devon Moore's had a really impressive drive to the hoop. That time a hesitation dribble, then a burst of speed down to 3 seconds here in the half. Dow did not shake free the defense. He is called for an offensive foul. 0.6 seconds left. 43-35, the Evangels leading.
I was waiting for the ref to call that, but that was the same call they just called on Caleb Woodson. I know Coach Gamblin was in their ear about that one.
Woodson getting to 4, tips it around. Not sure if he got it off, but it's off the mark anyway. So the Evangels in a much tighter contest at halftime this time. Again, getting off to a 15-0 lead, but they lead by 8 at halftime. It's 43-35. We'll take a bit of a break, and then Will and I will come back and look at the first half numbers. This is MACUathletics.com. At halftime here, the Galkey Activity Center, Evangels in front 43-35. Alex Reed and William Gibbons with you as the Evangels, again, ahead by 8, got off to a 15-0 start in this game before the Eagles able to find their footing here. Let's take a look inside the numbers. Evangels shooting 12 of 20 from the floor, so really good shooting percentage, includes 2 for 8 from the three-point distance. But unfortunately, a lot of turnovers have gone with that, which allowed Texas A&M-Texarkana get back into it, as well as a foul-heavy first half on both sides. The Eagles go 10 of 26 from the floor, 6 of 15 from deep at the free throw line. The Angels got there 10 more times, 17 of 23. The Eagles at 9 of 13. Rebounding-wise, it is the Eagles at +6, 18 to 12. Again, a lot of turnovers, a lot of fouls on both sides. The teams combined for 34 fouls and 30 turnovers in the first half here. And a game that the teams want to play at a fast pace, but due to the bevy of foul calls, didn't quite exactly work out like that. Individual scores all led by Anthony McGee of the Eagles. He's got 15 points, 5 of 7 overall, and 4 of 5 from long range, including, as we mentioned, some really tough makes in that time. Also for the Eagles, Tariq Matthews has got 7 points. Their leading rebounder, a tie between Connor Owlett, who barely played in the first half, got 3 fouls. He is their leading rebounder, excuse me. There is no tie for the Evangels. Very even scoring distribution. Nobody with more than 7. So again, you had a total of 9 players score in the first half. Kind of surprised. They had 10 players play overall. The only one who did not score, surprisingly, was Ashford Golden. However, he did get 3 fouls in that first half, but Golden able to create on offense for his teammates there in the first half. Cedric Wright making all 3 of his shots from the floor. And Devon Moore, again, a couple of impressive drives. Most of his points at the free throw line, so both those with 7. Jones and Slaughter with 6 each. Moore going 5 of 6 at the line. Leading rebounder Kalen Woodson with 3. So again, the Evangels leading at 43-35. Will, some of the things that you think Coach Gamblin, Coach Nero, and everyone else will be telling the team in the locker room here at halftime?
Definitely turnovers. Have to cut down on turnovers. When the teams press you, they want you to speed you up and make bad mistakes, and that's what MACU is playing into Texarkana's defensive scheme right now with the turnovers. That's the only reason why Texarkana is in this game, with their pressure and making MACU turn over the ball and in the half court. Really, is the main reason why they got back into this game.
And the Evangels ahead by 8 here at halftime. Their next game is coming up on Friday, an exhibition contest against Drury. They're in Springfield, Missouri. Next home game will be a week from Thursday, November the 7th, against LSU Shreveport, a 7 o'clock tip. Our next game here on MACUathletics.com. Women's basketball coming up on Friday night here at the Galkey Activity Center. And at 6 p.m. as the Lady Evangels 1-0 will take on Evangel University. And halftime here at the Galkey Activity Center, and it is a 43-35 Evangels lead. Looking to win 3 games in 4 days to start the season. Second half a little bit under 8 minutes away, and William and I will be back with all the action then. You're watching MACUathletics.com.
I've been away for a while, yeah. I know they have recently filled a couple positions. Yeah.
Do you know anyone in contact with the Blue? I can't find their stuff online.
I don't.
Y'all looking to see, get in contact with them and see if they need, from
50 seconds until the start of the second half here at the Gawke Activity Center. MACU Evangels leading the Texas A&M-Texarkana Eagles by a count of 43-35. I'm Alex Friedman, my partner, former Evangel William Gibbons, joining us here today as the Evangels trying to go to 3-0 on the early season. Looks like they're going to have their starting lineup back out on the floor to begin the second half. And Dorsey, Woodson, Ford, Golden, and Wright. We'll see if the Eagles stay with their starting five. Of course, Coach Ryan Wall, here in his first game leading this program, probably trying to find the parts that fit best, but he is going to have his starting five back out there. And Kennedy, Owlett, Wright, Phillips, and Amade. Eagles begin with the ball. They'll now go from left to right. We will see if the second half is as choppy as the first. As mentioned, a lot of fouls, a lot of turnovers by both teams.
As you say, Coach Gamlin changes up his defense.
And it forces a turnover. Ford getting it back out to Dorsey for Golden, right side. And as we mentioned at halftime, it was odd. He was the only player not to score for the Evangels in the first half, but he hits a three-pointer right out of the chute.
There he goes. Hopefully he can pick up right now where he left off Saturday against Manhattan Christian. Just a half late.
Kennedy able to cross over and hit from the right elbow. Kennedy, who only had 2 points in the first half, really bottled up defensively, but able to make a nice shot there. Woodson leaving for Wright. Got fouled, looked like before the shot. Yeah, that is indeed the case.
Back to that last shot by Kennedy. That's his game. He plays a lot off the dribble. Last year when I was in the huddle with Coach Gamlin, he compared him a lot to Jamal Crawford. Guard likes to handle the ball and create shot off dribble. So that's Desmond Kennedy's game right there.
Kalen Johnson coming in for the Eagles, replacing Amade, who just got his fourth foul. Wright gets it in, working against Owlett. They double team him. Gets it back from Dorsey, and that's going to be easy money for Wright. They just have no one in the lineup that can body him up.
And great point, and that's Coach Gamble has a great point guard in Dorsey. Dorsey had no other thought about just giving the ball right back to Wright. He understood no one on Texarkana can guard him.
Three on the way from Wright, missing everything. Golden will pick it up along the baseline. Golden going by Kennedy. Thought about the three, gives it off to Dorsey. Back to Ford. Pump fake, drives free throw line out to Woodson. Woodson's three, no good. Stays in play off the top of the backboard. Wright, the offensive rebound, goes up and is fouled.
Eagles foul number 13, Kyle Wright. That's his second and the team's second.
The foul is on Kyle Wright, sending Cedric Wright to the line, where he is 1 for 4 today, trying to become the Evangels' first double-digit score. And he does. McGee, who led all scorers with 14 in the first half, or actually 15 in the first half, back in. 49-27. Evangels have led by as many as 15 in this game. Right, no, off the mark of the second. Johnson the rebound. Wright's got it on the near side, cutting towards the middle. Kennedy, pump fake, stops just inside the circle. Off to Wright, 18 of the shot clock. At the free throw line, out to Johnson. Hesitation dribble, right side, met by Woodson. Out to Wallet. Now Johnson driving in, backing down Woodson, and for the second time today, Kalen Woodson draws a charge.
Kalen Woodson, just a selfless player, sacrifices bias for his team. See, he's getting up, grimacing a little bit. He's putting his body on the line for Coach Gamble and the Evangels tonight.
You know, watching Kalen Woodson the last few years, and Will, please feel free to agree or disagree. I think one of his biggest assets is he knows who he is as a player.
Yes. And not a lot of players know that, which is
right.
Which is unfortunate. But Kalen Woodson And the fact that he knows it, he accepts it.
Wright's going to be called for a foul going for the rebound. His third. So Wright's got 3, Golden's got 3. Wright pleading to stay in, but that argument's going to fall on deaf ears. Coach Gammon will take him out for Carlos Slaughter. 49-37. Evangels led by 8 at half, up by 12 at the moment. 17:38 to go in the game. And have another foul. This time it is Kyle Wright drawing it. And Slaughter, who just came in, picks up the personal, his second. Kyle Wright, one of 2 freshmen in the starting lineup, one of 5 freshmen on the roster, and one of 4 players, local players from Texarkana on the roster. He makes the first. Able to make both. Eagles are 11 of 15 in the line today. Dorsey driving all the way. Coast to coast, couldn't finish. Slaughter battles for the rebound. Goes up from 8 feet, hits the floater. 51-39. The Evangels in front. Right out to Kennedy. Quick pull up, and it rattles in. And a timeout called by the Eagles, so Kennedy only had 2 points in the first half, has got 5 early in the second half. It gets the deficit for the Eagles back under double digits at 51-42. The Eagles are the ones who called timeout here. So we'll take a break with the Evangels ahead 51-42, 17-14 to go. This is MACUathletics.com. .09 left with the Evangels leading the Eagles 51-42 at the Mulkey Activity Center. Evangel ball. Press on, as has been most of the case all night. Dorsey giving it off to Ford. Back to Dorsey inside the half-court stripe. 18 left on the shot clock. Golden driving in left side, and he got fouled on the floor. That is on Wright, his third. Slaughter getting it off the inbound. Down low to Ford. Steps to left off the glass, and it rolls in. 53-42. Lead back up to 11. Wright able to create some space on the crossover and hits the jumper from the right elbow. Ford is going to be called for an offensive foul. Shelling off Johnson.
Wright's coming out attacking this half. Definitely more aggressive than last half. He played the majority of the minutes last half for his team. Not scoring much, but he's coming out this half, definitely attacking, looking to score.
That was Ford's second, and now it is stripped away by Golden. Golden with outlet all over him, able to scoop it in off the glass. Kennedy back the other way. Outlet lets it go from 3 off the front of the rim, and a push off on the rebound called against the Eagles. That is on Kalen Johnson. Now his fourth, the second Eagle to pick up 4 fouls. Dorsey getting a screen from Golden, then got tripped up. And if that's on Johnson, he's done. It is. So Kalen Johnson will foul out. 2 points in 9 minutes of action. Now Johnson out. DeCorian Phillips coming in. And already 16 fouls on the Eagles. Woodson will get it and give it off to Dorsey. Really been impressed by Dorsey, just has not been fazed by the press all night. And he draws another foul. And that'll send him to the free throw line.
Exactly. Dorsey's IQ is pretty high on the floor. He understands when to pass, when not to pass, and he understands when to get the ball at hands or when to attack the rim, just like at this last play.
That foul was on Wright. We heard Will talking about a little while ago. He's got 4. 1-1 for Dorsey. First trip to the free throw line. Nothing but net on the first. Had been 0 for 2 on the season. Off the mark, though, on the second, off the back of the rim. And the Eagles able to clear it. Phillips thought about it, drives in. Woodson deflects it, but it comes out to Kennedy, right wing. Picked up by Slaughter on the switch, right of the circle. Kennedy will pull up and hit. As soon as he pulled up, looking at Coach Gamble, it's almost as he knew that ball was going in.
Yeah, Desmond Kennedy playing at John Brown last year in the Student Athletic Conference. He can score buckets quick as Asher Golden explodes to the rim, diving through the lane. But they're showing off his athleticism.
Owlette to the basket, got fouled. There's going to be a block on Slaughter.
Texarkana wasted no time getting the ball back in bounds after that play. As you see, they called MACU on their heels getting back for defense.
Connor Owlette, sophomore, one of those players from Texarkana. And missed the first one, played last year at Collin County Junior College. Tyreek Matthews back in. They'll replace McGee. Able to make the second, and it's an even 10-point lead for the Evangels with 15:10 left. Dorsey ahead to Woodson. Pull up from 3 that time from Golden. Cannot convert, but a great offensive rebound and put back by Woodson. Now giving it off on the corner of the Matthews. 16 of the shot clock, working against 4. Crossing to his left, stops right side of the paint. Lost his footing, out to Kennedy. 10 on the shot clock. Kennedy back out to Matthews. Lets it go from 3, no good. The rebound controlled by Phillips, out to Dow. He'll let it go. No good. Ball is tipped around. Last touch by the Evangels. It'll stay with the Eagles.
The Evangels right there maybe thought the ref probably missed a push in the back on that last rebound. I can tell you that's one of the few calls that
I was going to say it's probably the only call they've missed tonight. Yeah,
because they're on top of it tonight.
McGee gets it off the inbounds. Drive baseline right, floating, and it's good. Continues to lead the offensive charge and leading all scores with 17 tonight. 60-50 Evangels in front. This is Devon Moore's back in, giving it off to Dorsey. Dorsey drives right side, goes up with the left hand, but he's fouled.
Dorsey's actually pretty quick and explosive, getting off the ground, got off 2 feet right there. Yeah, just got up towards the rim, probably really close to the rim. Could have surprised some people and put it in.
Dorsey 1 for 2 at the line. I mentioned this about Dorsey earlier tonight as he makes the first free throw. Doesn't have a turnover tonight.
That's beautiful basketball. You can't complain. You can't complain, especially with the pressing that's going on. And I mean, everyone's turned over the ball tonight, but with the pressing that's going on, oh man, them not having a turnover, it tells you about his IQ, alone.
He makes both free throws. It's a 12-point lead for the Evangels. +4 here in the second half. Matthews backing it out. And now the pass off the mark and grabbed by Dorsey. Dorsey, though, won't force the issue. Now goes to his left, leaves it off for a trailing Slaughter. Cannot hit the jumper, and Matthews with a rebound for the Eagles. Dorsey, though, they're able to knock the ball loose. Ford over to Moore, 2-on-1, had it stripped away, ball loose, still on the floor, and it's gathered by the Eagles. Matthews able to make a leaning three-pointer from the left side. What a turn of events for the Evangels. Like they had a great scoring chance on a 2-on-1, couldn't convert. Eagles come back the other way with a three, and now it's Slaughter getting the feed from Dorsey and laying it in. 64-53, 13 minutes left. Ball's knocked around. Aaron Harmon giving it off to Kennedy, ends up with it and hits. Timeout called by the Eagles. Desmond Kennedy, another three. The lead is back down to 8 at 64-56. Seemingly every loose ball ending up in the hands of the Eagles. And again, a tough out here in their first game as a program. We'll stop the clock here. 12:49 left. This is MACUathletics.com. to 59 with the Evangels ahead. Here, 12:49 left. Dorsey giving it ahead to Moore. Slaughter open underneath the basket. The defense closes in, but Slaughter doesn't panic and lays it in. A nice night for Slaughter. He's now up to 10 points. Actually, he's now at 12, leading the Evangels. Kennedy missed. Shot goes in and out. Slaughter the rebound. Moore handing off to Golden. Fadeaway shot from 13 feet out is good. Scored in multiple ways tonight.
Yeah, you can see he's a three-level scorer. Knock it down deep three and getting the tip right there on the ball, getting to the rim, and knocking down the mid-range pull-up.
Moore has some space for three, but that one off the mark and out of bounds. Cedric Wright going to come in for Slaughter. Great minutes he's given the Evangels tonight.
Well-deserved rest.
Denarius Brooks back in for the Evangels as well. Now's got it for the Eagles. Driving to left of the circle. Kennedy handing off to Phillips. Contested long two is good. 68-58. Brooks gets bumped by Phillips. And Denarius Brooks has got a 1-and-1 coming up. Phillips is third, team's ninth. Brooks able to knock down the first free throw. He's up to 4 points tonight. All the points coming at the free throw line. Only Golden down there to potentially get the rebound, and the miss comes to Kennedy. Phillips wide open, left of the circle, and he drains it. Maybe a miscommunication there as Phillips able to hit the three. As Eagles have shot well from beyond the arc tonight. Wright cannot save it from going out of bounds, and the Evangels with the turnover.
That's Dorsey's first turnover of the night. Evangels only up by 8, 69-61. Approaching 11 minutes to go in the rest of the game. Cylinder. That's the one, a new rule that came into place about 2 seasons ago. It's called the cylinder. It's called the cylinder, I guess, call. But you can't be within, I guess, a couple of feet from the offensive player who has the ball. It's a new and strange rule that was just put into play.
Yeah. It's like how you're supposed to play defense.
Exactly.
Now McGee lets it go, got his own miss, and then drew a foul against Golden, his fourth. Terrence Jones going to replace Golden. Team sixth foul, so that was their final one to give. Well, the Evangels, they've stretched the lead out to 12 this half, but again, the Eagles, a pesky bunch here in their first game. Harmon to the basket, gets the roll off the front of the rim. Aaron Harmon, a freshman from Texarkana. Down to 6, 69-63. Line drive shot by Brooks. What a tip in by Jones. Terrence Jones, who just came into the game after Golden picked up his fourth foul, tips it in. Lead back up to 8, 71-63. The Evangels call timeout. We've got 10:23 left. This is MACUathletics.com.
This half, Texarkana's gotten a lot of offensive rebounds. And they're currently leading the game 10-5 in offensive rebounds. So I know one thing of emphasis in that huddle, Coach Campbell, is definitely talk about rebounding on the defensive end for MACU.
And they create a turnover, though. It's Kalen Woodson again. Able to force the issue down, turns it over. The 23rd turnover by the Eagles tonight. The Evangels have 21 turnovers. And with the ball, leading by 8. This half unfolding very similarly to the first half, where the Evangels control the first few minutes, but then the Eagles able to get back in it, and more contact drawn by the Evangels. This foul will be on McGee. That's just his second. Double bonus, though, coming up for the Evangels. Devon Moore, 5 of 6 at the line. Will, when it's a game like this, there's a lot of whistles, a lot of turnovers. How difficult is it to play? Being a player yourself, to be in a game like this where there's just not a lot of flow?
Yeah, it's definitely hard to get into a groove. It's definitely hard to get into a flow, but one thing you want to do is just take care of the ball. You have to. You have to take care of the ball.
McGee tries again. This one too strong. Jones tried to get it away from falling out of bounds, and he threw it, unfortunately, right to Decorian Phillips. And a turnover nearly committed by the Evangels. 73-65. Dominic Ford's going to come in for Jones.
Whenever you're in a situation like that, Jones, if you're under your basket, you drop it right there. But since you're going to the further end of the court, you want to just toss it towards your goal. Hopefully someone will pick it up on your team. If not, then your team have time to get back on defense.
Yeah, and I think he also could have called timeout as well. And now we've got a 10-second violation. The Evangels still have 4 timeouts left.
A couple unfortunate events for the Evangels and back-to-back plays.
Eight-point Evangels lead, 9:35 to go. And a bump committed by Ford. I'll say this for the Eagles, and Will, you mentioned how despite them being in their first year as a program, picked 4th in the Red River Conference, I know this, none of those teams are going to want to play them this year.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely.
If this is any indication.
They're a scrappy team. You see Coach Wall coming in, to a new situation, new team, a new organization. He's definitely put in some work this preseason to get his guys ready to go.
Decorian Phillips hits the first, missed the second, right the rebound for the Evangels. It's a 7-point MACU lead with 9:27 left. Moore's got it. Gives it off to Woodson, finding an open Ford in the corner. Good closeout by Harmon, though. Missed, but grabbed by Wright. Another chance for the Evangels. Team that just with their style of play never will get a ton of offensive rebounds. They do get a second chance. Moore able to force some contact. The shot doesn't go, but he'll have a couple of foul shots coming up.
Moore felt like he had the mismatch on that possession, and yet he did. And saw him call his own number, get to the rim, and draw a foul. Almost converted for A&M1.
Fair to say he's probably the quickest player on this team?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Standing at all of 5'10".
Again, a guy who knows how to get to the line despite not being all that big. Missed the first. Second miss in 9 attempts tonight. Dorsey will come in, replacing Brooks. Owlett back in for the Eagles. As is Wright, placing Harmon and Dow. 73-66, Evangels leading. 9 minutes remain. Next one is made by Moore. (74-66) the lead. Wright directing traffic, handing off to Kennedy, and Wright's going to be called for a moving screen after he passed it off. That is Wright's 5th, the second Eagle to foul out tonight. Wright will finish with 4 points. The primary ball handler for the Eagles when he's been in the game.
Substitution for the Eagles, number 24, Kyle Dow.
And that is one call that they are calling a lot more this year, as I've seen the first couple of games MACU's played, was that when you're handing off the ball, using your body to screen off the other player. So that's one call that I believe the refs were notified by their higher-ups to definitely get high emphasis on that beginning of the season.
Dorsey able to get through the middle, but then is called for an offensive foul after giving it off to Wright.
Dorsey does well at splitting traps, but that time it got the best of him.
74-66, 8:35 left. McGee will get the inbounds, picked up full court by Moore. Step back from McGee, almost hit it. Owlett knocked it out of bounds, going for the rebound.
Great defense by Moore there to keep McGee in front of him, and you have a great contest on the shot, even though McGee has hit a couple of tough ones early on in this game.
Dorsey up the sideline, trying to shake three, leaves it for Wright, out to a wide open Moore for three, but it's short, and Kennedy with a rebound for the Eagles. Finding a streaking McGee left side, cannot finish. Wright able to recover and alter that shot. Dorsey will slow things down to the front court on the far side. 7:52 and counting. It is the Evangel 74, the Eagles 66. Double team coming, and it's thrown away, taken by Kennedy. Kennedy stepping to his right, too strong though, and the rebound by Ford. Need to look out from behind. A lot of contact. No whistle. There is on the held ball. Possession error with the Evangels. Shea Amati, who's got 4 fouls, back in. As is Tyreek Matthews. .7:33 left. And what has been a grinder of a game tonight.
This is, yeah. Oh, my, yes, this has definitely been a grinder of a game tonight.
Dorsey going to draw a foul by Dow. Dorsey will head to the free throw line. Dow's fourth. Dorsey 3 for 4 at the line. High arcing free throw attempt, rims out.
It's been a total of 55 calls in this game. I think the refs are trying to get on the scoreboard too and compete. It's a lot of calls for a game.
Phillips in for the Eagles. Golden's going to come in and play with 4 fouls. Placing Kalen Woodson. After Dorsey makes 1 of 2, it is 75-66. Evangels leading, 7:22 left. Matthews leaving for Amade underneath the basket, and now Golden picked up his 5th foul. Right after he had come back in the game. So he fouls out. 3rd overall player of this game, and the first Evangel to foul out. Carlos Slaughter will come back in. And will send Amade to the line for 1 and 1. Amade 1 for 2 at the line tonight. The Eagles 13 and 19 as a team. And it rims out. Oh, that was on the shot, excuse me. So it was a 2-shot foul. Able to make the second, and it will be replaced by Harmon. Back to an 8-point lead for the Evangels. So it's Moore, Dorsey, Slaughter, Ford, and Wright, the 5 on the floor for MACU. Dorsey lobbing ahead to Moore. Now pushing it up right side. Harmon able to come away with a steal. Matthews now controlling for the Eagles. Under 7 to go. Kennedy, baseline right. Had it rejected by Wright.
Great defense by Wright, just wall up.
Slaughter driving baseline out to Dorsey. Moving things around. Wright wants it. He's definitely got a big advantage against Harmon right now. Will the Evangels get it to him? Under 9 on the shot clock. Moore's going to pull up for 3 off the front of the rim. And grabbed by Matthews. Matthews transition three, rims out, and right with a one-handed rebound. Was looking for more ahead, but could not see him amongst a couple of defenders. Ford thought about the three, starts and stops, goes back in, goes to the right hand, cannot connect, Harmon the rebound. Matthews, bounce pass, Slaughter able to steal it, ahead to Dorsey, to Ford, right ahead of the defense, throws it down with two hands. Ten-point lead, 77-60, 7 under 6 to play. Owlett kicking out. Three on the way from Phillips, no. Tipped around, last touched out of bounds by the Evangels. Darius Brooks will come in for Moore. Probably the final blow for Moore. Imagine he'll be in there for the final few minutes due to his ball handling and free throw shooting.
I'd like to see MACU start attacking the paint more, getting the ball into the paint either by Cedric White or penetration.
Phillips had it stolen away by Wright from the angle up here. Thought he might have kicked it, apparently not. Ford has the ball tied up on the way to the rim, and that'll give the ball back to the Eagles. (77-67). Evangels leading, 5:20 left. Now calling out the play on the far side. Getting a screen from Harmon, going right. Got loose. Harmon wide open for three. It rims out, tipped around, grabbed by Kennedy. Wright comes over, blocked it, and also fouled him. That is Wright's fourth. Two-shot foul for Desmond Kennedy. 2 for 2 from the line tonight. So Kennedy against the Evangels. There were 3 games between John Brown and MACU last year. Twice in the regular season, once in the conference tournament. As Kennedy missed the first one. 26 points in 3 games overall against MACU. He was held 7 of 26 from the floor. Wright's going to come out. Marvin Lowen for the first time this half. Owlett out for the Eagles and Amade back in. Still a 10-point lead, 1 free throw remaining for Kennedy. Able to make it. 9-point game with 5:07 left. Brooks on the near side. Slipping into the corner to Slaughter. Slaughter going to the basket and squeaks it in off the glass.
That play was actually created by Marvin Lowe as he stepped up to clear that space for Slaughter to drive the baseline and score the easy 2.
Slaughter's the team leader with 14 tonight. McGee gets in against the defense and knocks it in off the glass over Ford. Dorsey hounded, getting off to Brooks. Brooks finding a wide open Slaughter. Amade came over, got a part of the ball, but he got the arm as well, and that's Amade's 5th. Well, the brief timeout. Coach Gamblin going to get Ford and Lowe over. And Carlos Slaughter, again, he is the team leader with 14 tonight. Yeah, off the mark on the first free throw attempt. Boy, with Golden in foul trouble most of the night. We brought it up before. Boy, this is just a really nice performance by Slaughter for the Evangels.
Yeah, he's really stepped up tonight. So he can do multiple things. Rebound the ball, score the basketball. He's played great defense. And like I said earlier, Coach Gamblin has 10 guys that can all start, essentially. He has 10 guys that can all start, that can play meaningful minutes.
Kennedy, after the basket, fouls Brooks from behind. Will stop the clock with 4:02 left in a 8-point Evangel lead. Now the Evangels, they're going to have a lot of chances to shoot free throws here in the final 4 minutes. And hopefully we'll be able to take care of business. Of course, easier said than done when you're coming down the stretch in a game like this where it takes so much out of you.
Exactly.
As Brooks hits the first. Brooks, though, off the back rim of the second. Rebounder by Owlett. Harmon giving off to Phillips on the right wing. We've got a whistle away from the ball. It'll be on Brooks.
Mid-America foul number 0. Darius Brooks. That's a second.
Now McGee in line for a couple of shots. 81-72, the Evangels in front. And McGee has the first one in and out.
For the Evangels, number 12, Caitlin Woodson.
McGee short on the second, and now we got a foul on Harmon with Lowe going for the rebound.
Eagles foul number 23.
Marvin Lowe will walk to the other end of the court. He'll enter the free throw line for the first time tonight. 1 for 3 on the season thus far. Marvin Lowe from up the turnpike in Tulsa. Came in along with Terrence Jones from Connors State. As the first free throw hit by Lowe. Well, good on both. 83-72. McGee trying to get it out. Woodson, nice play, but just could not save it from staying inbounds.
Woodson forwards very active throughout the games on the defensive end, just getting their hands in the passing lane, getting tips and deflections.
And I don't think it's a coincidence. They're both guys who have been in this program 3 years now.
Exactly. Know what Coach Gamblin wants, and know the standard he wants you to play to.
83-72, under 3.5 minutes to go. Ball's knocked around. It's a shot clock violation.
The funny reaction on the court is I don't think any player on the court knew.
I didn't know it. I think everyone lost track probably after that play by Woodson, where of course the shot clock would not reset.
Exactly. Even Texarkana's bench and coaches, I don't think they even knew because they was right there in front of the bench. They would have been yelling, "Shoot the ball."
Slaughter driving right is going to be called for an offensive foul as Owlett stepped in front of him after he had given the pass off to Ford. Ford was open and did hit the shot. Won't count though.
All of the charges against MACU tonight has been due to passing the ball while jumping. If they can control staying on the ground while passing the ball, then they'll be in good shape.
Owlett, I don't know how he found McGee behind his head. No look pass. McGee lays it in. It is now 83-74 after that bucket and a timeout called by the Eagles. By my unofficial count, they've got 1 left. So we are under 3 minutes to go. An 83-74 MACU lead. Home stretch coming up. This is MACUathletics.com. 2:55 left, 83-74. The Evangels in front. Trying to hold on the ball here down the stretch and hang on for a win. Go to 3-0 in the first 4 days of the season. A moving screen on Marvin Lowe and a turnover by the Evangels. Wright will come in for Lowe. Carlos Slaughter will be back in for defensive purposes. Go a little bit bigger with Slaughter taking over for Moore. .238 to go. Phillips has it for the Eagles. 15 on the shot clock. Owlett, right elbow, draws a foul on Wright, and that is his fifth. Terrence Jones going to come back in. So Wright and Golden, who are the two big offensive stars in the first two games of the season, fouling out tonight. For Wright, he finishes with 12 points, made all of his shots, 5 of 5 from the floor. As the first free throw made by Owlett. Couple of no-nos committed by MACU here. A turnover and now a foul, stopping the clock. Owlett hits both.
Exactly.
It is a 7-point lead at 83-76. Dorsey likely will look to slow things down a bit here with 2:18 to go. Both teams in the double bonus. Jones kicking out to a wide open Woodson. That might be the dagger. Might be. 86-76. 2:06 left. The Angels have not taken that many three-pointers tonight. McGee, though, able to answer another three made by McGee, his fifth of the night. And it is back to a 7-point lead with 1:56 left. The Eagles use, again, by my count, their final timeout. That is not official, though. It is a full timeout. 86-76. We've got 1:56 left. The Evangels will have the ball out of the timeout. After Kalen Woodson hit the three to make it a 10-point game, Andre McGee comes right back. He's up to 24 tonight, 9 of 15 overall, 5 of 9 from three. Again, we've had a total of 5 players foul out tonight. 64 fouls called total. 53 turnovers total.
One of those games. It's hopefully the Evangels can get the win. It's a win, but it's an ugly one.
If you missed the beginning, the Evangels got out to a 15-0 lead. They had a 15-0 run in the first 5.5 minutes of the game. The Eagles got back within as close as 3 a couple times in the first. There was a 8-point lead at half for the Evangels. They've led by as many as 12 in the second half. It is currently a 7-point lead. Jones handing off to Dorsey. Defense will drop off a little bit. Dorsey into the front court. 1:47 on the clock. 19 on the shot clock. Dorsey over to Ford in the far corner. Now it is Woodson handing off to Dorsey. 10 on the shot clock. Dorsey leaving for Slaughter. Two-handed off the backboard and in.
Slaughter's been very effective tonight for MACU in the dunker spot.
And now they commit another foul with the Eagles at the offensive end. It'll be Woodson, his second. Owlett at the line for 2, 3 of 4 at the line tonight. Rips home the first. Owlett sinks both. 7-point lead. 88-81. Dow in for Owlett. Jones right back to Woodson. Now Dorsey will get it in the front court. He'll pull it back out beyond the arc. 1:14 of the game clock. 20 on the shot clock at a 7-point MACU lead. The Eagles are going to play this one out defensively. Down to 10 of the shot clock. Dorsey handing off to Woodson. Kicking to Jones. Step back for three. Off the back of the rim, and the rebound by Phillips. Phillips giving it off to McGee. Pump fake. Out to Kennedy. Fakes the pass. Shoots the three. Cannot hit. Harmon there for the tip-in. 46 seconds left in a 5-point lead for the Evangels. Dorsey giving it ahead over to Woodson. Now leaving it for Jones. Again, the Eagles not fouling yet. 36 seconds left. The Evangels ahead by 5. 16 on the shot clock. Dorsey now drawing contact from Kennedy. 2 big free throws coming up for Dorsey with a chance to make it a 3-point game.
Huge free throws. Actually, Coach Wall elected to tell one of his players to go ahead and foul late in the shot clock. Yeah, right before Kennedy ended up picking up that foul. I believe that's Harmon, 23.
Dorsey's 4 for 6 the line. Makes the first. 29.3 seconds left. Short on the second. Still a 2-possession game. Dow's got it for the Eagles. Dow will go to the basket. Left-handed shot off the glass it in. Down to 4 with 23.3 seconds left. And Woodson will call timeout with no one to give it to. 89-54. 23.3 seconds to go. Here at the Galkey Activities Center between MACU and Texas A&M-Texarkana. Their first game as a program. An impressive showing for a team playing its first ever game. The Evangels trying to hang on. Again, it has been a slugfest tonight. 89-85 the score. A lot of whistles, a lot of turnovers. Evangels 3 players in double figures. Eagles with 4. And the Evangels just trying to make sure they get it in and hit their free throws coming up here. After the game ends, we'll take a final look at the stats, see if Coach Gamblin is able to make his way up here, get his thoughts. Evangels' next game will be an exhibition contest against Drury on the road on Friday. Next home game and regular season game will be on November the 7th against LSU Shreveport. Woodson will be the inbounder. He can move along the baseline. Giving it off to Dorsey in the corner, immediately fouled by Phillips. Now Dorsey was just at the line a moment ago, was 1 for 2.
Eagles foul number 14, Victorian Phillips. That's his 4th.
Even if he makes both, it is still a 2-possession game. 22.8 seconds left. Dorsey off the mark on the first. Slaughter back in for the Evangels. Dorsey empty at the line. It is a 4-point game. 20 seconds left. McGee giving off to Phillips. Kennedy 5 feet beyond the arc, cannot connect. Ford getting the rebound and is fouled. It was on line. It was just a little bit short for Kennedy.
In MACU's favor, I believe they might have had a miscommunication for Texarkana. Number 14, Phillips, I believe, was supposed to set a screen for Kennedy to come up off of that.
Ford at the free throw line for the first time, and he misses the first.
I can tell you what MACU will be doing this week in practice. Start in the middle of practice and to end practice, shooting free throws.
They have missed their last 3 and 4 of the last 5.
They're currently shooting 64% as a team from the free throw line.
Ford, though, is able to make that one. Timeout called by the Evangels. 12.2 seconds left. It is 90-85. Now the Evangels, again, the ones that call the timeout here. The Evangels have shot 56% from the floor tonight. But they've committed a lot of turnovers, as have the Eagles.
Exactly.
It is the Eagles who have taken 11 more shots overall. They're +9 on the glass. Clock will run here in 11 seconds. McGee's got it. He fell down. Dorsey able to take it away and gets fouled by Kennedy. Well, McGee, who has been the offensive leader for the Eagles tonight, just lost his footing. Kennedy fouls out. He finishes with 16, 14 of which were in the second half. Dorsey, who missed his last 2, back at the free throw line. 5 for 10 tonight. Rattles home the first. 6.2 seconds left. And he makes this one. It'll just about be over. Making it a 3-possession game, if he's able to make it. And he does not, though. Owlett getting the rebound. McGee's got it. Fires it up with 3 seconds left off the mark, and the rebound by Jones. And the Evangels get quite the battle from Texas A&M-Texarkana in their first game as a program. But the Evangels, well, there are a couple of big pushes by the Eagles and hang on for a 91-85 win. They lead this one and win it wire to wire. And the Evangels play 3 games in 4 days to start the season with, again, a very tough matchup here. An aggressive team in the finale and able to get the victory. And certainly very encouraging first game from Texas A&M-Texarkana. As mentioned, they're going to be a very tough out in the Red River Conference this season. Take a break. When we come back, Will and I will look at the final numbers. This is MACUathletics.com. Well, the Evangels beating Texas A&M-Texarkana here tonight, 91-85. Evangels going to 3-0. The Eagles falling to 0-1. Again, a game the Evangels took a 15-0 lead to start, led by 8 at half, led by as many as 12 of the second half. And it was an Eagles squad that just would not quit here in its first game. Looking inside the numbers here, the Evangels shoot 56% from the floor. Again, they have shot 56% or better in all 3 games to start the season. 27 of 48 overall, 4 of 17 from 3. 33 of 51 at the line. That ends up being 64.7%. A lot of tired legs in some of those final attempts, certainly coming down the stretch. For the Eagles, 27 of 60 overall, 45%, 12 of 34 from beyond the arc, and 19 of 29 at the free throw line. Rebounding in favor of the Eagles at 39 to 30. Again, we had a ton of turnovers in this one. 29 committed by the Eagles, 25 committed by the Evangels in this game, and a total of 69 fouls were called. Wow. Between the two teams here tonight, we had a total of 5 players foul out, 3 by the Eagles and 2 by the Evangels here this evening. Individual scores led by Anthony McGee of the Eagles. He had 24 tonight, 9 of 16 overall, 5 of 10 from beyond the arc. Other double-digit scores for the Eagles. Desmond Kennedy, 16 points, 14 of them coming in the second half, 14 by Decorian Phillips and 10 by Tyreek Matthews. For the Evangels, leading scorer Carlos Slaughter, 7 of 9 from the floor. He also had a couple of rebounds on the night. Really good minutes off the bench with, again, Cedric Wright and Ashford Golden in foul trouble throughout the evening. Wright, when he was on the floor, 5 of 5 from the floor at 12 points, second leading scorer. And Devon Moore had 10 points, 8 of which coming at the free throw line. Devon Moore now in 3 games has 25 free throw attempts. Leading rebounder for the Evangels tonight was Wright at 8 points. So 19 minutes of play for Cedric Wright. I'm sure Coach Gamblin was hoping maybe for a few more minutes. Had to deal with foul trouble, but 12 points and 8 rebounds. Another nice showing for Wright here tonight. As, again, the Evangels using 10 players on the night, every one of which has certainly made a contribution at some point. And, again, the Evangels able to come away with a win here this evening to improve to a 3-0 and a very tough matchup, again, against a team that basically plays, with nothing to lose. Is their first game as a program and can really only go up from here. So William Gibbons, my broadcast partner here tonight, some of the things that you took away from this victory.
That MACU handled the pressure. Essentially, towards the end of the game, they started to handle it a little bit better. Was one thing they have to work on just throughout the season. It's good to have it early, so just in case you see it, later on in the season, especially when you get into a conference play, you want to be able to say that, okay, we handled this better, we handled this better. You want to play a team that plays zone. You want to play a team that plays man. You want to play a team that presses like tonight. So you say if you've seen it all and you see your team's strengths and weaknesses and be able to fix those throughout practice, throughout the week. But overall, MACU looks pretty good for this season. Definitely have a lot of players that can get up and down. Unfortunately, 2 players tonight fouled out. 2 of the starters that MACU will heavily lean on this year for scoring purposes and rebounding and just leadership. So other than that, I think MACU looks very good for this season.
Yeah, and I think also it's great to get a lot of contributions from the bench, from guys maybe getting some more points than you might have expected out of certain players this evening, and certainly showing their depth as well. Coach Gamblin making his way towards the booth, and we'll get his thoughts on the game here coming up in just a moment. So Coach Gamblin joining us here now after this victory tonight, and boy, you've got the shirt untucked. I was tired just watching it. That was a grinder of a game here tonight. This was a team playing its first game as a program, a team that loves to press, loves to make life difficult. First of all, how difficult was it preparing for this game? Because in a sense, a bit of a mystery.
Yeah, no, a huge mystery, and Ryan does such a good job with them. They just put you in really awkward positions all night. Like you're going to have, like I thought we started the game great, but then they just keep with it. Then you turn it one time, then they hit a three. But, the things we told our kids going into it, we got to win the turnover battle, we got to win the rebounding battle, and we didn't win either one of those things, really. We had 25 turnovers, gave up some offensive rebounds, but it's a credit to our kids just to stick to it. I mean, this was a scheduled loss. It was a really bad scheduling job by me. Coach Wall does such a good job, and having one day to prep for what he brings to the table is tough. But, I thought our guys adjusted well in the second half. We just got to make some free throws. I mean, that's kind of the biggest thing. We got there a bunch, and we just, I thought we just kind of psyched ourselves out a little bit. We have too many good shooters to miss that many. But, on a night where you turn it over 25 times, where you go 4 for 17 from the three and you miss 18 free throws, it's awful good to get a win. I know that.
I'd say for about 85-90% of the game, Tony Dorsey was unbelievable handling the ball. I think Dorsey got a little fatigued there at the end, as did everybody, it felt like. But, I mean, for most of the game, it seemed like whatever Texas A&M-Texarkana was throwing, he was not fazed whatsoever.
No, and Tony's a really tough kid. I probably played him too many minutes against the press. I mean, 30 minutes against them is 40 minutes against everybody else, but he just does such a good job. I mean, he got to the free throw line 12 times, and for point guards to do that is a special deal. But no, he's a tough kid. He's kind of our heartbeat at the point, and I thought he did a great job handling their pressure tonight.
Carlos Slaughter was the 9th guy to enter the game for you. He ends up as your leading scorer. It's always a hallmark of your team, the depth and the amount of guys that you will play. But this early in the season, after you had a couple of big performances by maybe some of the guys you were expecting to score, to have him lead the way and just give you 21 or 22 minutes of just really good basketball tonight. For a guy who's in his first year in the program, that's got to be really encouraging.
Yep. I mean, Carlos is just so tough. He'll play any position we ask him to. He played the 3 through the 5 tonight. The thing with Texarkana is they go 5 guards so much that, Marvin said we're kind of put in tough spots. And then their pressure, it doesn't allow you to throw it in the post easily. And we didn't do a great job. I didn't help our kids very well with getting the ball to the post. And because of that, it pushed our size out a little bit. So we went with Los, and he was great from the dunker spot. I thought he really guarded well, too, in switch situations. And he's just a utility guy. He can do it all, and he saved us tonight.
It's Coach Josh Gamblin. Coach, congratulations on this win tonight. And, again, through a bit of an early season gauntlet, 3 games in 4 days. And we'll see you a week back here a week from Thursday.
Awesome. Hey, thank you.
It's Coach Josh Gamblin. We thank him, as always, for his time here. And we'll be back here with our final thoughts in just a moment. Again, one last time here from the Galkey Activity Center. It was the Evangels 91 and Texas A&M-Texarkana 85. Evangels 3-0. Texas A&M-Texarkana falling to 0-1, but a very impressive showing in their first game as a program. Coming up, again, the Evangels' next game will be on the road exhibition play against Drury University. Next regular season game will be here November the 7th.